is the band of it is high-waisted, and then it has a little back pocket in the back of the pants, which I think is fun. But I feel like yoga pants, like flare legging pants, are a really big staple.
Okay, another day. I'm working from home. It's actually already 1:30, and I just got back from the grocery store. I have groceries to unload. I have dishes to do because I feel like all I'm doing is dishes on YouTube now. But I need to do my dishes, unload these groceries. I need to get chicken marinating for tonight. We're doing Greek chicken bowls. And then I need to get pie dough started because tomorrow we're doing Thanksgiving at Cason's mom's house. And we're making 2 pies, so a pumpkin pie and an apple pie. And I have pumpkin in the freezer that I roasted and froze. I froze them in my super cubes and in 2-cup increments. So I need to get one of those out, let it thaw. I need to get the chicken marinating first because we need to do dinner tonight. And then I need to clean all the countertops, sanitize everything because the pie dough is going to take probably a lot of space. So like this whole countertop right here. And I have to make 3 pie doughs, and I used the Magnolia recipe. So I need to go get that book. Make sure I have I know I have everything for the pie dough. So I'll be doing that. If for some reason it cuts out, it's because my battery died, and I do have another battery that is charged, but I cannot find my charger to charge my battery like port thing. Like I have this and it does like 3 batteries at a time. One of these is still charged. 2 are not, and I don't know where my cord is. So I need to find that too. Yeah, so keep watching. I'm about to do dishes like always and unload these groceries. I got these off of Amazon to put baggies on to hold it open for whenever you are putting like food in here, like freezer meals or leftovers or whatever. Okay, so I have 2 packs of chicken. And I'm gonna like slice them into thinner strips. And then I got this Mother Raw Organic Mediterranean marinade. It says that it has filtered water, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, sun-dried tomatoes, minced garlic, pitted Kalamata olives. Contains 2% or less of minced onion, oregano, gray sea salt, red bell pepper, black pepper, parsley, dill, basil, and it is organic. And it's made in the US. So I figured we could try this since it's basically literally like Greek Mediterranean, you know. But I am going to cut this chicken into thinner slices now. That way I don't have to do it later and get like the marinade all over my hands, and hopefully the marinade will be able to absorb into like the chicken a little bit better. So that is what I'm going to do now. And then I got this one. And I did wash my hands. So that's a bone. It just fell right off. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna slice these kind of like, maybe like this. You know, I never really know the best way to slice up chicken. Go ahead and put it in the baggie. Hopefully that stays up. So my plans today are to do this, the pie dough. Me and Cason are gonna bake the pie later, so y'all will see that in a separate video. And then I'm gonna take some of the Christmas stuff downstairs, and obviously, like I said, do the dishes. And I need to vacuum. I need to vacuum downstairs and upstairs. And after I vacuum upstairs, I'm gonna get started on cleaning my floors. So I borrowed like a carpet cleaner from my aunt, and I need to get started on cleaning my floors. I've had it for a couple weeks now and haven't gotten to it, but I need to definitely get that done. And I bought organic chicken. You know, we have been talking about potentially getting some meat chickens in the spring. We've never had chickens before, so that would be something new. Have been on and off about getting chickens just for a long time, and now we actually have a little bit more space for them, and we've talked about getting some. We need to do more research on it. I've done a fair amount of research, but Cason, he wants to do some more research. But my best friend actually just got chickens. They just got just laying hens, and she loves them. So we could always like share meat and whatnot, and eggs and stuff. But we don't eat enough eggs. I mean, I feel like we used to, but sometimes we go through phases where we don't eat enough egg or a lot of eggs. So there's really no sense in us getting laying hens. Like meat chickens are gonna lay eggs a little bit, but not near as much as laying hens. And I would rather get meat chickens. Hopefully this turns out good. I love Cava, which is like a Mediterranean place, and I always want to replicate like the bowls that I get there. So I'm hoping this kind of does that for me. But I did have another battery, but I do need to charge this. I did finish cutting up the chicken, and now I'm gonna pour this into the baggie, which my little thing isn't like staying up, but I am almost done, so if you can just hold off. And it is kind of creamy. I don't know if you can see like that texture. It's like a creamy texture. And I'm just dumping the whole thing in there. And normally, or lately, I haven't been saving all my jars, but I like the way this one is shaped, and this would be perfect if I could get the label off and get this really good and clean. And that smells amazing. And get the, you know, Greek scent out. I could use this for dressings or syrups, things like that. And I love doing that. I made a bunch of homemade syrups a few weeks ago. I made chocolate and cookie butter, toasted marshmallow. They're really good. Now I'm just mushing this all around, getting it fully coated around all the chicken. And then I'm going to make sure it's zipped all the way. And this would also be like a super easy freezer meal. Just get your chicken and that marinade or whatever marinade you want, and just go ahead and put it all in a bag, like meal prep on whenever you're doing your meal prep on Sunday. If you do that, then put it in a bag, put it in the freezer, and then whenever you pull it out, let it thaw and it's good to go. Or just go ahead and just meal prep it like 24 hours in advance. Super easy. I'm gonna let this sit in the refrigerator until we are ready to cook dinner tonight. I'm about to wipe down the countertops, do these dishes, because I was waiting until I got this done because I knew I was gonna have a dirty cutting board. Go ahead and get the dishes going, and then I will start on the pie dough. It does get messy. I'm also going to rehydrate my sourdough starter. I got a new sourdough starter from Brownie Family Farm. It is a dehydrated sourdough starter, so I've never rehydrated sourdough starter before, so this will be our first time. She is the one that gifted me my sourdough before, and it was such a healthy sourdough. I made a lot of loaves. It is time to get back into that. We're not eating a ton of bread right now, but I do like it during the holidays, taking it, giving it as gifts, taking it to family gatherings and things like that. And sometimes you just need like a grilled cheese and soup, and I would much rather make my own bread at home. Even though it takes a little bit of time, I would much rather make my own sourdough or use my bread maker and make my own bread at home than have to go buy that bread at the grocery store that's just filled with junk. I have all the ingredients to make bread. There's literally no reason I should be going to buy bread. I can save money this way. We don't eat enough of it to go buy a loaf, and honestly, homemade bread just tastes so much better. And we have this Amish butter. That's not the butter I'm going to be using today in the pie dough, but we have Amish butter in our refrigerator, which is really good. That would be so good on a sourdough. I ate a few pieces of popcorn chicken on my way home from the grocery store, but I am a little bit hungry still. So I'm gonna warm me up some naan bread. This is not homemade. I would love to learn how to make it and just eat a piece or two of that. And it'll be perfect for tonight with our Greek bowls. Okay, I'm gonna unload this, get this in the toaster. I like to keep my naan bread after I open it in the refrigerator. While that's toasting, go ahead and do this. So this is actually the second dough that I'm making. So the videos might be a little out of order, but that's kind of on purpose. So I'm using the Magnolia pie dough recipe. It's the best one that I found. That we love it. It's so nice and flaky. So it's a cup and a quarter, but I did a cup and a third because I wanted it a little bit more dough of all-purpose flour, and then 1 stick of butter. And so then I like kind of cut the butter up into smaller pieces and worked it into the dough with my hands so it gets a little bit crumbly. And there are some bigger pieces of butter still in the dough, which is perfect. So I like to have like bigger chunks of the butter still in the dough. It keeps it flaky. And then I have ice water, so it's about a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit more of ice water. And then I just work it until it's like the perfect consistency. And so I'm just gonna knead it a little bit, kind of get it all worked in. And I floured my countertop with all-purpose flour as well. And so it's a very simple pie dough. And then I have one more pie dough I need to make. So the apple pie takes 2 pie crust, and the pumpkin pie will only need 1 pie crust. So I'm just getting these little pieces of dough off my hands, and I did wash my hands before this. I'm just gonna put that, and then I will wrap these in plastic wrap or cellophane or whatever plastic wrap, and put them in my refrigerator. So I just got a little bit more water for the next one. So we'll have a third, which I need to get the butter out of the refrigerator, and go ahead and wrap these 2 up and get them in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna wash my hands again, and then we will start on the last pie crust. What I'm actually gonna do is put all 3 of them in this Ziploc baggie, save some plastic wrap. I'm gonna go ahead and put these 2 in there, let them get cold. Okay, so we're gonna start on our third one, so our last one, and I'm gonna just talk through it. So I'm using a 1/3 cup scoop, so that is 2/3, this is 3/3, and then we'll do one more. And I don't pack it down in there, I just lightly shake it until it's like a little bit more level on the top. Then I do a teaspoon of the Redmond real salt. And there's that. So I'm actually done with both of those utensils and the flour and the salt. And I'm gonna put a little bit more ice in this water because you want it cold. You want ice water. So there's that. I'm gonna put the ice back in the freezer. And I'm just, since my hands are a little wet from doing that, I'm going to use this measuring spoon just to mix that salt up with the flour. And then I'm going to cut this butter, so you'll use a full stick, so 8 tablespoons of, it calls for unsalted, but I've made this pie dough so many times, I like to use salted. I don't know why I like the extra salt, I just do. So I use salted, you can use unsalted. The recipe calls for unsalted. So So completely up to you. I like salted because most of the time pies are super sweet, and it just helps make the crust really flaky and just divine. So I'm just cutting this butter into smaller pieces, and then I will just use my fingers to mix it in and break it up and mix it into the dough. I know some people use lard, some people use vodka instead of water. I just use butter, it's what I have. I don't use vodka. I use water, ice water. Everybody has their own preferences. So later this evening, we will make both of the pies. And I highly recommend doing this with your hands so that a blender or a mixer will probably, I mean, you could do it lightly with the mixer, but I feel like you can kind of get the butter pieces to the sizes that you like better with your hands. That's just my personal preference. It really doesn't take that long. So now I'm adding the water slowly. And if an ice cube falls in there, not a big deal, just take it out. And then I'm just kind of like moving it around, letting it get incorporated slowly. And the reason why you want to use ice water is so that the butter does not melt. Does anybody else just love the smell of dough? Like flour and butter? Like, can fresh bread be a candle scent? Is there a candle company out there that has a fresh bread scent? Sourdough scent? That's good. That would smell good. I wonder how a sourdough pie crust would turn out. Like sourdough discard. Probably very fluffy, like a fluffy dough. After this, and after I get the sourdough starter restarted, I do have to go work on some work things for a little while. It's a little bit more water. Need to add a little bit more water here and there, but I'm just going to knead it, get it into a good shape, get everything combined really well. And honestly, I didn't really have to follow the recipe except for or the instructions, because I've done it so many times, more so just for the measurements. But it's honestly very simple. You kind of can just wing it, as long as you know what texture that you like, and you use the 3 or 4 main ingredients. So all-purpose flour, butter, salt, and water. So there is our 3rd pie dough, and you can see all the butter pieces in it. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna get this in the refrigerator with the other 2 and get these counters cleaned up. Alright, so I have a mason jar and my sourdough starter, but I do have instructions. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it says I need room temperature water, so I'm gonna let this get to almost like room temperature. It's close already. It says combine all starter chips with 2 tablespoons of room temperature water. Let sit for 1 hour to allow chips to rehydrate. Once fully hydrated, add 1 tablespoon of unbleached all-purpose flour and half a tablespoon of room temperature water. So it's getting to the room temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and get 1, 2, and I need a little bit more. Okay, so there's my water, and normally I don't use water from the tap, but since that's all I have, that's room temperature. And now I'm going to dump, let's see. Oh, I hate those things. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Here's all the chips. I need to re-add my water. I think I need to add a little bit more. So those will sit for an hour. I'm not gonna like close that up, just gonna put the lid on it. This is clean, all it had in it was water. And that is going now, and in an hour I will.
What way do you peel apples? Side to side or up and down? Like this?
Like that. I go around.
Okay.
Getting the most.
You know, it's so disturbing when I did mine little, you could see the wax come up. I'm just gonna put them on this paper towel, is that okay? We do upstairs.
Or I wish we had a USB port, which is weird. I don't know if they do that. Like switch out one of our one from our camera for one that had a USB. I don't know if that works. UBS.
UBS?
Here's one, but I doubt it works. Oh, it does work, but I'm gonna move it over. All right. Okay, we're gonna do that. Set aside. Melt butter into a saucepan over medium heat. Add flour, stir to form paste. Cook until fragrant. Add both sugars, which I don't have regular sugar. We're just gonna use brown. And water. Bring to a boil. Reduce heat. Low sear. 5 minutes. Heat.
Where do you want me to chop them up and put them in there?
Yes. Oh, that's. Oh, you cutting that off?
Yeah.
It's okay if there's a few little pieces. It's like they'll cook now. Wait, well. Would you mind cutting this in half for me?
Is this diced up enough?
Yes, yes. They can be a little bit bigger than that.
Okay. Like, is this too big?
No, that's good.
Your lemon was cut in half.
Thank you.
I don't know if you needed it red. No.
I'll leave it in. A few minutes. Move this over here with me. Well, since we're doing the chicken on the stovetop, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat this pan. Hello. So yeah, now I'm just pouring this in. On top. Even though the recipe that I'm loosely following says to pour it literally like on top of the actual pie, like crust. I don't understand that, so that's not what we're doing. It's almost like a caramel sauce. Doesn't it look like it?
Mm-hmm.
I guess caramel is made from butter, so that would make sense. Okay, now all of that is in there. I need this top. It's okay. And you don't have to do it right up on it. Yeah, you can do it like right there.
Is that one okay?
I would stretch it out a little bit or use one of these other ones. Yeah. I'm about to do the pumpkin pie. We mixed the filling last night. The pie dough is ready. All I have to do is place it in the pie pan and put it in the oven, and I need to get the oven preheated. So here we go. So I just did the egg wash, and now I am going to do a little bit of brown sugar along the edges. Kind of give it like a little sweetness, a little crunch. Like almost like a caramelization. All right. So I have the oven preheating to 425, and I will do that for 15 minutes, and then I will reduce the heat to 350 for 30 to 45.